Hello and welcome to another Betfred Sports video right here in the Quest Media Network studio. Now, of course, there's only one place to start today, and that is at Old Trafford, because Manchester United have appointed Erik Ten Hag as the first team manager. And Peter, looking at next season's Premier League title odds, United have been cut from 25 to 1 to 20 to 1. That says it all, really.
Well, we sort of welcome the appointment. I mean, the bottom line is they can't be much worse than they were against Liverpool. And as you say, Betfred have decided that United are 20 to 1 to win the title next season, and that's been cut from 25 to 1. So it is, the indications are that we think it's an okay appointment, but it's not world shattering, is it? It hardly grabs you and makes you think, oh, this is fantastic. He looks like he's a pragmatist who's going to get stuck in and change the style of the club. I think his name's quite relevant with 10 in it, because that's about how many players are going to move out in the summer. So we're 20 to 1 at Betfred that they beat City home and away next season, and 16 to 1 that he actually wins the first 5 matches. We don't know who they are yet, but you can take it that they're going to be 5 teams that are as good or better than Manchester United are beaten this season. Tomorrow they're at Arsenal. Yeah,
they certainly are. So looking at the odds for that game, not great for United. They're at 5 to 2 to win at the Emirates Stadium. The draw's also 5 to 2, but for Arsenal to take victory, they've been priced at 21 to 20. Mikel Arteta side going into that game on the back of a 4-2 win at Chelsea. You know, quite a surprising victory, that one.
Yeah, it was. It strikes me that all these teams on the edge of Chelsea, City and Liverpool are struggling to make that 4th place. They're very inconsistent, but Arsenal have been better than the rivals for this slot of late. And as you rightly say, Betfred have them as favourites to beat United. I mean, they are at home. Be interesting to see whether Cristiano Ronaldo gets back in the team. He's back training now, isn't he? After his heartache of losing a child at birth. He's 7 to 2 to score first. Cavani, Rashford both 5 to 1. I think that's quite generous with Rashford because he's been right out of form. And he's going to be struggling to make the England squad the way he's carrying on for Marcus Rashford. Saka's 5 to 1 to score the first goal.
This game's massively important for both sides for the top 4 chances. I know you've got the top 4 odds for us right now, but looking at Arsenal, they're so up and down, they're never consistent, they haven't been all season. Do you think Mikel Arteta's the right man to take the Gunners forward?
Well, he's a young fella, and he's from the stable of Guardiola at City. Frankly, I think he is. He's changed the style of the team. He's gone for more young players, moulded it in the way that City play, if you like. And I think that it should stick with him. You've also got to wonder who else is out there. So, as you say, Betfred do have the odds for a top 4 finish. United have come in slightly, believe it or not, probably because of the form of Arsenal and Spurs. But United have now 14 to 1 to get that top 4 slot behind, as I say, City, Liverpool and Chelsea, which is what I probably think is going to finish as well as it happens. Chelsea 1 to 50, Spurs 4 to 6, so their odds on. Arsenal 11 to 10 for a top 4 finish. As I say, United are 14 to 1. For the title outright, City are now 4 to 9, having beaten Brighton in midweek. Liverpool 7 to 4.
There we go then. If you do fancy United to get into the top 4 this season, they are priced with Betfred at 14 to 1. But of course, there's also a game taking place on the blue side of Manchester tomorrow. It's Manchester City hosting Watford. City priced at 1 to 10. Clearly they are the favourites, leading the Premier League by 1 point. Liverpool trailing just by 1 point, and we'll move on to them very shortly. But Watford are priced at 22 to 1, and the draw is 8 to 1. So, Peter, looking at this game, you wouldn't give Watford a chance in hell, really, would you?
Frankly, no. It is looking like a City victory there. They're at home against a team that look doomed. Mahrez is 5 to 2 to score first. De Bruyne 11 to 4. Sterling 10 to 3 to score the first goal. Jesus 4 to 1. Foden 9 to 2. So it is looking very much like a City victory there. And then we've got the Liverpool-Everton game on Sunday.
Yep.
I mean, that'll be one tremendous game because Everton are now fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
That victory by Burnley against Southampton, that's given that added spice now because Everton have got to start winning more games.
Yeah.
Draws won't do. So they'll really go at that derby game at Anfield. Liverpool 2-11 to win. Everton 12-1. A draw 6-1. But that was a brilliant victory by Burnley, and it's made them put huge pressure on Everton to achieve something at Liverpool.
Absolutely, and I suppose it might justify sacking Sean Dyche as well. A lot of uproar surrounding that, but then they go and pull off a victory like that, keeps their keeps the chances alive, really, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, I'm not going to say anything derogatory about Sean Dyche because you don't know how they would have gone on if he'd have still been there. But it does have that effect on the players. It makes them think, well, if they can do that to the boss, what are they going to do with me in the summer?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
but you don't have that impact at Manchester United because it'd be interesting to see whether they, with the pressure gone and the new manager being appointed, whether they'll be going all at it to impress the new boss. At Arsenal.
Absolutely. Well, it's a risky sacking, but who knows? Maybe it will pay off for the Clarets. But looking at that Liverpool v Everton game, as Peter just said then, Liverpool 2-11, the draw 6-1, and Everton are priced at 12-1. But if you fancy Sadio Mane, he's in great form at the moment. If you fancy the striker to score a hat-trick, he is priced with Betfred at 16-1. Well, we're moving to some Betfred Super League action now because looking at tonight's clash, it's St Helens taking on Castleford, and then we've got a big game on Sunday on Channel 4. It's Wigan hosting Salford, and big news coming out of Wigan today. Zach Hardiker has left the club with immediate effect.
Yeah, he has got, let's say, a checkered history, disciplinary-wise, and they gave him a chance at Wigan, and it looks as if something's happened there that we're not privy to at the moment, and he's leaving the club with immediate effect. So you could say he's been sacked, but most accurate way is saying he's going. I noticed that there's some speculation he's going to go back near his home in Yorkshire. Yeah. So he might be joining one of the Yorkshire teams there. But it is big news that he's gone. And ahead of Salford's visit to Wigan, as you say, which is the showpiece game of the weekend because it's on Channel 4, Wigan go into that 1-10 favourite, Salford 13-2 with Betfred. And then tonight we've got Castleford against Saints. Castleford 4-1 to win that game. Saints huge favourites 1-15. I mean, it is looking increasingly likely now that this is going to be a Saints repeat victory in the grand final. They're 10-33 now to go and win the grand final. Catalans, they're 3-1. Wigan 6-1. Warrington drifting quite dramatically now. The 14-1 from 5-1 at the start of the season to win the grand final.
Absolutely. Well, just alluding to Zach Hardiker's departure from Wigan, that's Wigan lost, but some of the teams gain. Well, we've also got a big winner this week at Betfred. A chef from Southampton has scooped £5,000 from a £4.50 bet. Peter, I believe this was a lucky 15 bet?
Yeah, it was a lucky 15. He went for the first goal scorer market, which is surprisingly. He went for a few defenders as well. He wagered £4.50, as you say, on the first goal scorer. So he had Trossard to score first for Brighton at Tottenham, Bednarik to score first for Southampton against Arsenal. He also picked Kanate to score first for Liverpool against City in the semi-final at Wembley. Now, those outcomes were 12-1, 22-1 and 50-1 respectively, and it won him £5,241. But his fourth selection was on Paul Pogba scoring first for United. He's blaming his wife for this, as it happens. Anyway, if that had come in as well, of course it didn't because he went off after a few minutes with an injury. He must have got a creased sock or something. But anyway, he went off with his injury, and he if that had come in, then this guy called Patrick Aguilar from Southampton would have won £72,000. So he's blaming Paul Pogba as well.
He's everyone's scapegoat at the moment.
Yeah, he made these selections over a 5-minute coffee break. Right. Very busy, as a lot of chefs are at the moment. And Guess what he's going to do with his windfall?
Go on.
He's going to pay off his tax bill.
Well, there you go.
£4,000. He was a freelance chef and he was working out his tax returns and he owes the taxman £4,000. So that's where the money's going.
Well, there you go. It's not glamorous, but it needs to be done. And as Peter said then, a 5-minute coffee break has landed a chef from Southampton £5,000. And I always say on these Betfred Sports Talk videos, you have to be in it to win it. So very quickly, we'll just review and preview the fixtures this weekend. So in the Premier League, we've got Arsenal hosting Manchester United, Manchester City entertain Watford, and then it's the Merseyside derby on Sunday. Liverpool welcome Everton. And if you do fancy a punt on any of the sport over the weekend, Betfred stores are now open, but you can also bet online and via their app.